everyone, aka Chicken Fillets here. Now once again I've been thinking about, well, JRPGs. Yeah. But what I've been thinking about is actually the second games that I played in a video game series. So for example, what was the second Final Fantasy that I played? What was the second Persona game that I played? We're going to answer that in today's video. So with this in mind, we're going to look at the second video games that I played in a JRPG series. Now before we get cracking on, if you like JRPGs, lists and a wee Scottish guy talking about it, well, please consider subscribing to the channel. Now without further ado, let's have a look. Xenoblade Chronicles, or more specifically Xenoblade Chronicles the Definitive Edition, the remaster of the Nintendo Wii JRPG. The remaster is out on Nintendo Switch. Now in this JRPG we follow Shulk, our protagonist, in the middle of a war between Mechonis and Bionis Life. And the setting for this JRPG is on the back of two dead titans fighting each other. Amazing. Now the combat has a auto battle combat system, so the characters will do basic attacks whilst you input special attacks. So yes, Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition is my second outing in the Xenoblade series, with Xenoblade Chronicles 2 being my first. And like it says on the box, this is definitely the Definitive Edition. Everything has been completely revamped. Now I'll be honest with you, it took me a while to get used to the combat compared to Xenoblade Chronicles 2. And out of the three mainline Xenoblade games, this is my least favourite. It's an awesome game, do not get me wrong, please do not get me wrong, but Xenoblade Chronicles 2 was my absolute favourite because, well, it was my first one. Xenoblade Chronicles 3 was outstanding, and I mean, yes, Xenoblade Chronicles is an amazing title, but yeah, it's a weird one. But please don't get me wrong, I absolutely love this game. Tales of Grace's F. Another mainline entry in the Tales series, which was originally released in Japan on the Nintendo Wii, but we got it in the West on PlayStation 3, and it's still stuck on there. Now in this Tales of game, we follow the story of Asbel and his companions as they come across an amnesiac girl known as Sophie. Now this story follows them throughout their life. And yes, with any Tales game you can expect the linear motion battle system to be here. Now straight off the bat, I'll tell you right now that this is in my top 3 Tales of games. It definitely left an awesome impression on me. Now yes, this was the second Tales of game, my first Tales of game actually being Tales of Hearts R for the PS Vita. And it's probably one of the only PS3 JRPGs which I sat down and completed. I mean, it's that damn good. What really stood out for me is that we're following our characters all throughout their lives. I really liked this feature. And you know what you're getting into with any Tales of game. I really enjoyed the supporting cast as well. The likes of Pascal, epic times, epic game. Yeah, if you've not played Tales of Grace's F, please make sure to play it. Ys 8 Lacrimosa of Dana. The action JRPG from Falcom is available on PS Vita, on the PlayStation 4 and 5, on PC and Nintendo Switch. Now in this we follow our red-headed warrior Adol in another adventure where yes, he has been shipwrecked yet again on another island, this time on the island of Siren. And it's up to him to find the shipwrecked crew and get them off this cursed island. Now with any Ys game, yes, the fast-paced action-based combat is right here and it is so much fun. So yes, this is the second Ys game that I have played, the first being Memories of Celceta. Now I played this on the PS Vita. I remember playing Ys Lacrimosa of Dana whilst on holiday in Crete, which is an island just off of Greece, and it was so much fun being on this island trying to find all these shipwrecked crew, and just the combat, the music, I mean, with every Falcon game, you know that the music's going to be an utter banger, but this has got one of the best soundtracks out there, especially when you get onto the first section where you start taking on enemies with the song Sunshine Coastline. Epic track. Another question I asked myself is, well, did it surpass Memories of Celceta? I mean, that's an easy answer, because yeah. Final Fantasy VIII, the JRPG classic from Squaresoft, which originally released on the PlayStation 1, but pretty much on everything now. Now in this JRPG from Squaresoft, we are following Squall and his team known as Seed on their quest to defeat the sorceress Edea. And yes, the story goes a bit weird, but that's the charm of Final Fantasy VIII. The game has turn-based combat system and a dynamic leveling system, so when you level up, so does the enemy. So yes, Final Fantasy VIII was my second Final Fantasy behind Final Fantasy VII, no shock horror there. Now, I really love Final Fantasy VIII, it's my second favourite Final Fantasy. I like the character Squall, I know a lot of people don't, but I really do like him, and controversially, I like the Gunblade better than I do the Buster Sword from Final Fantasy VII. And I mean, come on, this game has But I mean, yes, Triple Triad could essentially make you cheese the whole game, but that was the fun with it. And yes, I know Final Fantasy VIII is a controversial game, but you know what? I love this game. I really implore anyone who hasn't played it to try it out. Star Ocean Integrity and Faithlessness. Yeah, it's Star Ocean Integrity and Faithlessness. This is Luca from Fiat Gaming's favourite game, by the way.
You know what I think of this game? I'll show you. God damn it, this game is
Now, you know the bit in the video where the content creator goes, X amount of people aren't subscribed and don't watch the channel, blah blah blah. You know what I'm going to say, subscribe so I don't have to keep doing this. Yakuza Like a Dragon. The 7th mainline entry in the Yakuza series, which was brought to us on PlayStation, Xbox and PC. Now in this JRPG from Sega, we follow a brand new protagonist for the series, Ichiban, and a new ragtag crew as he seeks answers for why he has been betrayed after taking the fall and doing jail time. Now this is where we saw the Yakuza series go turn-based combat compared to the previous entries as action-based combat. It had a job system as well within the combat where you could select different jobs by going to a job centre. So yes, this was my second Yakuza game, which, funnily enough, my first one was Yakuza 6. Yeah, I played them out of order. Yakuza Like a Dragon is a good starting point for the game. Yes, there'll be some references you won't understand, but this is a brand new protagonist, a brand new way of playing with the turn-based combat, and honestly, Yakuza series in general has so much going for it just now. Also within the city, you've got thousands upon thousands of mini-games galore. It's just so damn good. Get it played. The Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel 2. The sequel from Falcom was released on PS Vita, PlayStation and PC. Now in this we follow Rein Schwarzer and Class 7 following the consequences and the ending of Trails of Cold Steel. God, it's so hard to talk about Trails of Cold Steel without spoilers. And we have turn-based combat here where you will be able to position all your characters on the field and take out the enemy. Now, if you've played Trails of Cold Steel, you'll understand why this was the second game that I played out of this series, because, well, that ending in the first game, wow, you had to play the game straight away. The Trails of series can leave you on cliffhangers from time to time, and I'm absolutely here for it. Trails of Cold Steel 2 is probably my favourite out of the Erebonia arc, but that's just me. And before I forget, I played this on the PS Vita. Fire Emblem Fates Birthright, the tactical JRPG on Nintendo 3DS. Now we follow our protagonist who is stuck in between the middle of a war between nations, and it's up to them to choose which family they should follow. So essentially how this worked out is dependent on what family you chose, well, it depended on what game you played. So in this, there is Birthright, there is Conquest, and then there is Revelations. So within Birthright, you follow the kingdom of Hoshido. And as this is a Fire Emblem game, yes, the tactical based combat is of course here. So Fire Emblem Fates is the second Fire Emblem game I have played behind Fire Emblem Three Houses. Now the funny thing with this, right, is I bought Fire Emblem Fates Birthright when it was on sale during Argos getting rid of all their 3DS games, so I got it for about £7 brand new. But I didn't actually like the game at first. It was totally different from what I was used to with Fire Emblem Three Houses, and I got rid of it. Stupid boy. But after picking up Fire Emblem Awakening and loving every second of that, well, I finally decided to give this game another try. I bought it again for the 3DS and I loved every second of it. So not only was this the second Fire Emblem game, this was me giving it a second chance. If you've played Fire Emblem Fates, what were your thoughts on it? Let me know in the comments down below. Persona 5. Now this is the original Persona 5 that I'm talking about, which was originally released on PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 4. Now this JRPG from Atlas, we follow Joker and the Phantom Thieves in their quest to take the hearts of their enemies. They're not literally taking their hearts, don't worry. Now the game sports turn-based combat as well, where you will be using the power of personas to fight and defeat the enemy. Now when you're not dungeon crawling in Persona 5, you will be working on building up your social bonds whilst traversing Tokyo. Now Persona 5, yes, was my second Persona game behind Persona 4 Golden. And honestly, what is there left to say about Persona 5? We had the Persona 5 Royal Edition, which even souped up the original. Everything about this game, it's a modern JRPG classic. Everything about it is just outstanding. I mean, come on, if you've not played Persona 5 by now, get it played, it's so much fun. Pokémon Sword, one of the mainline entries for Pokémon on the Nintendo Switch. Now from my understanding, this is the Generation 8 Pokémon game, and the game is set in the Galagar region, which is essentially Yorkshire. If Mrs. Phillips heard me doing a Yorkshire accent, because she's Yorkshire, well, I'll probably get a slapping. So yes, it's a new trainer going out to become the very best, catching all the Pokemon in this brand new setting, in turn-based combat. So yes, this is the second Pokemon game that I had played. Now, I've had to have a think about this one, because I originally played Pokemon Red and Pokemon Yellow. Now, technically you could say Pokemon Yellow is the second game in that series I played, but for me, I class that in the same bracket, because it was essentially the same game, there's just different Pokemon. So I thought, well, wait a minute, the next Pokemon I played was Pokemon Sword. There's a 20-year gap between when I played Pokemon Yellow and Pokemon Sword. That is insane, 20 years, because Pokemon came out in the United States in 1999, where I picked it up. I got mine from a Toys R Us when I was on holiday in Florida with my family. So yes, it has been 20 years between playing Pokemon Yellow and Pokemon Sword. Absolutely insane length of time. I just fell off the map with Pokemon. There was nothing wrong with Pokemon. I just moved on to different games again. I fell off the wagon with JRPGs, and it wasn't until I was older that I got back into it. And you know what? I really liked Pokemon Sword. I thought it was an easy JRPG, which I needed at the time, and I just thought it was really upbeat and cheerful. So there we have it. Those are the second games that I played in a JRPG series, and I know I've probably missed out a few, but I wanted to give you a handful to look at today. Now what I want to know is, well, what was the second JRPG that you played in your favourite series? You know what to do, leave a comment down below. Now if you like what you're hearing and seeing on this channel, please help me grow it by liking, sharing and subscribing. And if you want to be kept up to date with everything Chicken Fillets, well, hit that notification bell. This has been John, aka Chicken Fillets, and until next time, tatty bye.